Good morning. How's it in Hang Loose? Thank you for tuning in to Mongoose Max Hawaii. This is newspaper. This is the series newspaper. And we're going to go over the morning newspaper. There's other series, but this one's newspaper. Sometimes a little cynical look, but I think this time, gotta hold back a little bit. Not be too silly, but simply because let's see how it works straight on with the news. Got the little crew cam here. Maybe some, but I don't know if I'm still figuring out this game. Anyway, so a little bumpkin because we're already halfway through the month of almost. We're almost at the Ides, the middle of October. Today, October 14th, Wednesday. So I got stuff, all kinds of stuff. Oh, go check out edited part 1 of the Shakespeare series. Read out loud on Zoom. Shakespeare play. Now today's October 14th. It says, prepare for landing. Prepare for landing. And the reason is because tomorrow's October 15th and the official pre-travel testing thing, which, let's save this one. This one's September. The date is set, the launch. See, it's a launch, and this is prepare for landing. So they're actually going to land before they launch. It's new at rocket science. That's about the summation of planning. They put a lot of planning. See, that's the thing is when you try to get humorous, you can step out of bounds, start making fun of people rather than having fun with people. And sometimes too cynical, especially too quickly, we look at the value and the appreciation. Yeah, this is going to work out good. Yeah, since you got so unfunny, since you are unfunny, you work at being more unfunny. Brilliant idea, Mongoose Max. Okay, it says pre-travel testing program is going to start tomorrow, October 15th. Today, the 14th. It's a little brief. It says island by island COVID-19 requirements and rules could confuse some visitors. So let me try to unconfuse this because I saw a little bit. It's the big island. That's the problem. The freaking big island. It's them guys, man. Now, the big island has had some clusters and some outbursts. So the big island, the island of Hawaii, the Hawaii county, not state, county. It's the big island. They have a restriction that's a little higher level than Maui, which is that way. You might have seen it in the opening shot. And Kauai, which is west. And that is southeast and west. So, I'm a resident of Oahu Island, or the city and county of Honolulu. So if I wanted to go to the Big Island, I have to go to a 14-day quarantine, 14-day mandatory quarantine to go to the Big Island. Now, if I went to Maui or Kauai, I could do pre-test and travel, just like this, for over the Pacific. Test, get a negative before boarding, go to the island, get a test when I'm there. I have to do this, which is what's launched for Trans-Pacific visitors tomorrow. Is going to apply also for Oahu residents to Kauai and to Maui. So, but if I went to the Big Island, no such luck. They're tighter. So I have to be 14-day quarantine. That's it. Now they have this big question now. People are, what about people who work? They travel to the island, work there. Well, I don't know. Don't know. So, that's that. But funny thing is, for everyone coming over, it's the same. It's going to open October 5th, tomorrow. What's going on? What the heck is going on with this? Great. Okay, so, timing. Because I'm trying to make this like within the time limit. So, this is yesterday count, 62. Looking good. I think we're under that 5%. So people here are looking at tier 2. Why? People are looking at tier 2, which is lesser restrictions. But everyone's focused on that, but they don't have their head around the big picture, which is the virus is still out there. Definitely wear your masks. Keep that distancing, because if you start laxing up on that, you're going to catch it no matter who you are, what you are, where you are, no matter who the crowd you hang out with, if it's a political rally, if it's social on the beach. It don't matter. The virus ain't a respecter or of those social distant things that we have. As human beings, the virus don't give a rat's. Okay, now let's look over here. State issue restaurants debit cards starting Friday. Okay, they're getting some of this economically. Because in all, we asked this sober pumpkin, is it sober? The sober pumpkins have a little sobriety of the mind. I told y'all I quit drinking because I know that's going to come in here. But they had this thing in 12-step programs called higher power, which actually just means God, right? So say little prayers to God. Oh, God, help me for the day. If you don't believe in God, fine, that's your thing. And if you believe in different religion, fine, that's your thing. That's what's kind of cool about the AA thing. It's like, however you choose, but it's a big topic. However, higher power is like God. So I said that in one of my videos, higher power. And you know the automatic the translation, captioning, thank you. Closed captioning. Thank you, camera. Closed captioning. Thank you, you guys. I forget your audience out there. Closed captioning. My closed captioning read this. My closed captioning for higher power read, translated, higher bummer. Higher bummer. That's so funny. I thought it was. Anyways, anything Barrett stays elusive on hot button issues. I'm sorry that it might, they like courts can they. I can't speak about the case. It is pending. You see, they're gambling. They're throwing the dice. They don't know if that person's going to vote completely party line. If they do, they'll find out after the fact and too late because lifetime membership. No takey backies. And then they're going to take down Obamacare if that's the case and if she gets approved, which probably she will because the Senate is stacked. The deck is stacked for the Republicans while the Republican president's saying, it's rigged. Yeah, it's rigged. It's rigged in your favor. Look at the reality of these things and then look at what they say. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, former candidate chases murder charges in Denver. Oh, the governor race has a murder. Disappearance of a 12-year-old girl. Well, I don't vote for that. I'm not gonna. Well, I don't have to vote in Colorado, so not my problem. Above my pay grade. So they're opening up. They're showing the beaches. They're all going beach right now. And what else do we have here? That goes to the editor. Hopefully we get one going on. Okay, now let's go down here. Hawaii use protective equipment at a scary rate. Hawaii using protective equipment at a scary rate. I'm so scared. Because it's Halloween. It's scary. Everything's scary. I'm so scared. I'm scared of certain things that do involve spiritual nature, but that's year-round now, because my situation is different. Probably different from your situation, so I'm just saying. That's another topic. Used and discarded. The week of October 5th, every single day, healthcare facilities used and discarded 15,000 masks, 3,000 N95, 12,000 gowns, 250,000 pairs of gloves, 400 face shields, 180 goggles, 4,000 hair covers, 6,000 shoe covers. A week. No, a day. That's a day. Ooh, that is a scary rate. I don't know if there's anything in here that we gotta look at. It's interesting, but we get hopefully the retirees up this. NASA outlines rules for moon exploration. I don't know what those are. But, no fighting and littering. What? New moonshot rules. So if you go there, whoever goes there, no fighting and littering, no trespassing at historic lunar landmarks like Apollo 11's Tranquility Base. A set of guidelines for Artemis moon landing program based on 1967 Outer Space Treaty and other agreements. So when you get to the moon, no fighting, children. Fuck. What's wrong with these people? Act like it's real. Are you following the confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court nominee? 60 cents, not too closely, 62%. 22% yes, following them very closely. 12% no, not interested. And that's the fact on that. Dang it. Okay, let's take a quickie look. And I try to mean quickie. I try to say quickie. And letters to the editor. Opinions. Everyone's got them. Everyone needs one. Otherwise you'll be stuck full of opinion. Second coronavirus test. Unused cruise ships. Democrat used cruise. Choosing Trump means choosing Proud Boys. Trump doesn't tell supporters how to think. White supremacists pose risk of active shooters. Public schools need on-campus learning. Second corona test. Yeah, when you get here, you're going to get tested if you're visiting. If you're a watcher and going to come visit. I think I know one person might be out there listening. You come here, you get another test. Everyone does. No big deal. It's just take time. Unless of course you're positive, then I guess it takes 14 days amount of time. Okay, choosing Trump. Let's look at this. What is this? White supremacists pose risk of, quote, active shooters. The comment, be alert for potential active shooters, letter to the Voices 11, October 11, was interesting and informative about steps to grapple with this tragic behavior. What was omitted were the encouraging calls made by many of our politicians to armed and unarmed violence. The open support of white supremacists like Boogaloo Boys, Proud Boys, and other President Donald Trump and Republican Party support of them, by them. I was like, how's this worded? Only supports more of the same bloodshed and cruelty. There was no mention of them in the article on how to deal with that growing problem. There was no mention in the media's role in fanning the flames. That's called fomenting, is your vocab word for the day. I gotta do that. Fomenting is like fanning it, inciting it, putting a fire under it, heating it up, stirring it, get them roused up. Fanning the flames of bloodshed by not fomenting, by not holding those who engage the hate speech accountable. In some cases, the media itself, Fox and other news, participated in the spread of violent rhetoric. The commentary was very good and needed to be expanded. A cover influence, leading influence on present-day, quote, active shooters. Anton Chainwalker, Holly Evo. Anton Chainwalker? It's an interesting name. Okay, yeah. You know, as a, let's say, former teacher, once a teacher, always a teacher, whatever. It was always put forth that things like violence in TV and violence in movies, and a little more recently, 15, 20 years ago now, violence in computer games, because they have violent content, it would promote violent actions. Okay? And it was always a worry of, you know, it's like kids, because the students and the parents and the teachers are going, oh my god, they watch the violent movies, oy vey. And even the author, the horror author, a famous American, he's like as big as Mark Twain is my book. He's pretty good. Stephen King. Character developments, big stories. But even he wrote a novel that some guy did something violent and was connected to reading that book, and that's one of his big fears, is that someone reads something in his book and then they act out on it. So established, that's a thing. But here's something else. They kind of proven, it's kind of been established that there's not so much of a correlation. People watching violent movies and then doing violent actions, like, you know, Manchurian Candidate. I see the violence, I monkey see. There's a lot of human behavior is monkey see, monkey do. But I don't think, apparently violence isn't really one of them. If someone commits a violent act, they're going to do so because they have problems in their life, or in their thinking, or in their emotions. Something's up. It doesn't need the movie or the video game. So, that being said, the Proud Boys aren't going to make, unless you're joining a white supremacist group, but the Proud Boys and the rhetoric isn't going to make you do violent things. But they themselves might do violent things because they themselves are in that framework. I'm right to have a militia. Now, if you look at the right to have a militia, it's a very different thing. Okay, enough of that serious stuff. Should we do one more Proud Boy? Oh, let's do the sound of thing. Trump doesn't tell supporters how to think. Did I just say that? Watching the presidential debates and thinking about the last 12 years, I'm trying to think about why I'm fine with President Donald Trump and had problems with President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden. Vice President back then, VP. When? So the VP is going to be up for debate. They're going to have a mayor debate today. Or, yeah, they're going to have a mayor debate in Honolulu. Oh, God. Here we go. No, you really get to see, if you don't know the candidates and you see them in a debate, it's revealing. That's what they're for. When Trump talks, he tells you what he thinks. I may not agree with all he says, but he says what he intends to do. When I hear Obama and Biden speak, I feel like I'm being lectured to, like I don't know what I think and should be thinking differently. I'm cool with a candidate who tells me what he's going to do. If I agree with the most of what he does, then I'll go with that. But I need to know what he intends to do. Don't we all? Do we want a pig in a poke? What? I hope not. I don't know what your reference is, the pig in the poke. Steph from Kailua. But I'll tell you this. Trump doesn't always do what he says he does. He's good at, he's a what do you call it, a business guy, and not a good one. And he's going with this in the business where they call branding. His Trump brand with the Trump towers and the Trump this and the Trump that. Now it's the Trump. He put his Trump brand on the presidency, which is horrific because he's not living up to even what he said he was going to do, whether you agree with it or not. And labeling the media like fake news is one of those things where you discredit that feed or that input of information, all of it's discredited. So they're crazy, don't listen to them, but listen to me. So all of that rhetoric is really propaganda, man, PhD in propaganda. That's the kind of stuff that you see in history under regimes you don't want to be under. So, and most of what he says, I don't think he want to happen. His Make America Great Again, I think, was the great part was wealth, was based on wealth. So if you get the economy up high, then you're going to feel good because you got money in your pocket, and he's taking credit for stuff he didn't do, and it's horrible. And I'm politicking, so I'm very sorry about that. But I don't think you need to be told what to think. I think the Democrats, what they're doing is they're too politically correct. So they're kind of gently persuading, and that's unappealing nowadays. The appealing side for Trump is he's direct, he's brash, and he's brazen. It's like, I'm just telling you what I think. And if you let loose with the truth, and you could be cruel. I'm just telling you, do I look fat in these jeans? Yes, you look fat like a hippopotamus stuffed inside the skin of a sweet potato yam. That's how fat you look. And then you're gonna get slapped by your significant other. This thing called tact and diplomacy. He's got none of that. He told China to bugger off. He told Mexico to pay for the wall. There's like no tact. Oh man, international snafus. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm not trying to politic. I'm just saying, vote what you need to do. If you think that style he has is better than the issues, vote that way then. Vote what you want to vote for. But please do vote. And I promised to make this short, so there it is. Y'all take care. Have a nice day. And aloha. And definitely hang loose no matter what you do. It's better for your health.